Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. This is a unique video that I am making today which is about Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo that is happening on 16th of September, and Sun is going to stay in this sign till 16th of October. This also coincides with the second lunar eclipse of the year that is happening on 17th and 18th of September in certain parts of the world, and this will be followed by a solar eclipse as well. So I'm going to be making a combination of Sun's transit and the lunar eclipse and what you can expect as an ascendant sign, a specific ascendant sign, and what are some of the key messages that you can take away from this unique video. In case you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. In case you like this video, please share this video with friends. In case you wish to book a personalized consultation with me, you can check out the link to my website and the process of reaching out to me. Sun is moving out of its own sign of Leo and entering the very earthy sign of Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, on 16th of September, and Sun is going to stay in the sign till 16th of October. So this is Kanya Sankranti, and Sun will be conjoined Ketu during this time. So there is certain amount of affliction which Sun has during this transit because it is coming in contact with Ketu. But on contrary, Ketu is in an inimical sign. Sun is in a friendly sign. They will also be joined by Venus for only a couple of days before Venus makes a transit to the sign of Libra, and later Mercury will be entering the sign of Virgo, which is its exaltation sign, and there will be a 3 planetary conjunction in the sign of Virgo. Mercury will also cross the eclipse point. Both Mercury and Venus in some way are involved in an eclipse. So who's going to have the maximum impact of this transit? In case you're running through a dasha, antardasha, pratanta dasha of Sun, Surya, Rahu, Ketu, Moon, Venus, Mercury, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. If you have prominent planets in the sign of Virgo and in the sign of Pisces, because this is the axis that is involved, and in case you're going through its dasha, antardasha, pratanta dasha, you can expect some events to kick off over the next few weeks or few months. In case you're going through the dasha, antardasha of Jupiter or Guru, because this eclipse is happening in Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra, which is ruled by Jupiter, and this activates the 9th cycle. So there's going to be a greater focus on dharma, fortune, higher learning, father or father figure, blessings or direction from your mentor or guru, long distance journey, spiritual journeys over the next few weeks. This is going to be pretty much active. And in case Jupiter is playing a role in dasha, antardasha, you're also likely to be impacted by this transit, by this eclipse. Eclipses play a very important role in our life from the context of Vedic astrology or Jyotish. There is a lunar eclipse that signifies or represents endings, cleansing of all kinds, and this is what this lunar eclipse represents, followed by a solar eclipse which happens after 2 weeks on a no moon day, and that represents new beginnings, that represents renewed energy. So there is ending and beginnings. This is what the cycle of eclipse is all about. There has already been a lunar and a solar eclipse early in this year. This is the second lunar and solar eclipse of the year. This video we're going to specifically focus on the lunar eclipse, and I'm going to make another video on solar eclipse and what you should be doing around that time and how you should make the most of the energies as far as the beginnings are concerned for your ascendant. This lunar eclipse from a regional perspective is going to be visible in South America, parts of North America, parts of Europe, and some parts of the Asian region. So South America will be most impacted. North America will also be impacted, and parts of Europe are likely to be impacted by this lunar eclipse. It is a partial lunar eclipse, so it is not up to its 100% potential, but we can expect certain events, we can expect certain endings to come, and it is a transformational time for many people. Sun, which is the natural 5th house lord, is going to be entering the natural 6th house of the zodiac belt, which means resources are entering the house of daily routines. So a message for us is to leverage and channelize these resources in our day-to-day lives and be able to help us overcome any kind of competition, any kind of opposition. We also see Shad Ripus or enemies of the mind from the 6th house. So this is an ultimate time for us to take care of these enemies, to control these enemies, your own enemies of the mind, and make sure to channelize these energies. We also see any kind of job from this house. We see intelligence from the 6th house. So put all your resources as far as new job opportunities are concerned, and at the same time, the resources that you need to cope up in your day-to-day life. This is the key message of this transit. By its 7th aspect, Sun is aspecting the sign of Pisces, which is the natural 12th house of the zodiac belt. So Sun desires you to donate, to help those who are in need. Sun demands spiritual upliftment. Put all your energy and resources in spiritual knowledge, gain of any kinds of spiritual activities that could be there. We also see devotion from this house. We also see higher self-consciousness from this house. So it is an ultimate time to increase our overall self-awareness, because the spiritual energies will be pretty high during this time. This eclipse also coincides with beginning of Pitru Paksha, which is the fortnightly event, which we also call Shraddh. This is the time when Pitris or our ancestors are pretty much active, and it is opportunity for all of us to seek their blessings. Blessings of ancestors or Pitris remove any obstacles in life and help us have a very smooth life as well. So this is something which is quite important for us, wherein it is advisable to connect with your Pitris, to connect with your ancestors and seek their blessings during this time. People also perform Shraddh. They also give out things to donate. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to talk about 5 key things that you should be doing in the fortnightly event of Pitru Paksha in the next 2 weeks. So please watch this video in full. I'm going to talk about 5 simple remedies or things that everyone must do to gain the most of this time. So now let's try and understand how Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo and also the lunar eclipse is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. At a physical level, you must read this from your ascendant sign. At a mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. I'm going to give you simple tips and simple remedies for this time and what you could expect as far as endings and new beginnings are concerned. Let us start with Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, this lunar eclipse is happening in your 6th and 12th axis in the sign of Virgo and Pisces. Now Sun, which is your 5th lord, is entering your 6th house, your lord of the future, children, your progress, success. This is where the king sits. It's its own sign. And this Sun is moving in the 6th house of competition, deaths and diseases, daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your competition, your enemies of the mind. This is natural Upachaya Bhava. Sun being a natural malefic, this is quite a favorable transit as far as Sun's energies are concerned, because Sun usually does very well in this house. It helps you to overcome competition of all kinds. But this also coincides with the transit of Ketu, conjunction of Sun and Ketu in your 6th house. That could in a way increase headless enemies or unknown enemies over the next 1 month or so. So you have to be slightly careful of people because there are conflicting energies. Sun is definitely undergoing certain affliction. So the opposition that you have from people in the near future, you will have certain struggle in terms of understanding those people. So whoever you meet during this time, be it your friends, be it your colleagues, be it the people who you work with, try and be cautious of it. Try and take time in order to understand them and be wary of such enemies or such opposition. This lunar eclipse is happening in your 6th and 12th axis, which means it signifies endings with regards to matters of the 6th house and the 12th house. Your daily routine would undergo a transformation. You would end certain habits. You would put a stop or a pause to certain habits and start new habits which could be better for you. This is something which you can expect over the next few weeks. There is cleansing of daily routine. There is increase of spiritual practices of worshipping devatas, of also worshipping pitris or your ancestors during this time. This is the most that you can make out over the next 2 weeks and take blessings from your ancestors to avoid any kind of obstacles in your life. This could be an excellent time to donate. Donate those things that your ancestors used to like, or donate those things that you like to consume, you like to eat. So do that either in a temple, place of worship, or give it to those who need it during this time. This is an ultimate potential remedy for you. Expect certain changes in your daily routine, in your daily task. It is a time to declutter, it is a time to de-cleanse and increase your spiritual pursuit. This could be a little bit of an unstable month for you, but at the same time you need to keep your resilience quotient extremely high during this time, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Taurus ascendants. What's happening with Taurus ascendants? Firstly, Sun, which is your fourth lord, is making a transit in the fifth house of Virgo, which is the sign ruled by Mercury. Now this is the lord of your satisfaction, your inner peace, your comfort space, mother, your homeland, is entering the fifth house. Sun generally is considered pretty good in the fifth house because this is the natural house which it rules. So it is quite a futuristic transit for you. Your future is in your hands. You would like to focus a lot on those things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content as far as your future pursuits are concerned. So if you write your goals, if you pen down your goals, make sure you mention those things that are of your interest. So this could be activities which are which support in your rejuvenation. This could be your hobbies. This could be your areas of interest. This could be those things in life which you really want to do. So this is an exploration phase for you to really identify what is that you really want to do. If you have been thinking of taking up a work or doing something which you would love to do, let's say you are in a job, you are in a stuck up situation, you have no choice, and you feel like this is something that you've been forced into, this is the time for you to think through and take up something which you have always been wanting to do. This could be the initiation, because any initiation happens from Sun, Surya, the resources are quite prominent, and this will also give you a lot of mental peace during this time. Otherwise, it depends on your ongoing dasha, antardasha that is there. With the presence of Ketu in this transit, your future could be under an illusion. So you have to be very clear as far as your thoughts are concerned and your decision making is concerned. Worship Surya Devata, offer argha or water to Surya first thing in the morning and add white flower petals in it. This is to strengthen and channelize your Lagna Lord Venus appropriately. Now this lunar eclipse is happening in your 5th and 11th axis. So there is endings and also new beginnings in the near future. So as far as your current time and what you were to do, there is a certain sense of ending. What kind of ending? It is ending related to love and interest. It is ending related to certain creative pursuits or certain things that you had decided for the future. So that is going to come to a halt, or that is going to come to a closure. You're going to have some change as far as your future planning or future thinking is concerned. There will be greater focus on children. Those who have children, their health could be of a little bit of a concern, so there could be certain minor health issues. There is definitely karma in relationship, love interest, and also in friendships, in your wider social network. There could be certain conflicting situation that you have to be careful of or mindful of during this time. So there could be endings of friendships and of course beginning of new connections, new friendships in the near future, and that is something you should be looking forward to. Any mantras that you use, because your 5 and 11 axis is pretty much active, it could be either mantra related to Venus or related to Mercury. Mercury, the deity that is associated is Vishnu. Use the mantra Om Vishnave Nama to get peace and also prosperity in your life, and for that I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Gemini ascendants and what's happening with Gemini ascendants, both from the perspective of Sun's transit in Virgo and also the lunar eclipse that is happening in your 4 and 10 axis. Firstly, Sun is your third lord. It shares a friendly relationship with your Lagna Lord Mercury. It is more of a neutral planet for you. However, third lord is not considered to be the most ideal planet. So it's got like a mixed kind of nature as far as Gemini ascendants are concerned. This Sun is making a transit in your 4th house in the sign of Virgo. Now Sun gains directional strength or is Digbali in the 10th house. In 4th house, it loses direction. So as far as resources are concerned, you will have to put in extra efforts to leverage and channelize these resources. This is where you would struggle. But certain people who are facing authority issues, who are facing issues with people who have power or certain government, those issues are going to come down. Those conflicting situations are going to come down over the next couple of weeks. This is what Sun is promising during this transit. Sun aspects your 10th house by its 7th aspect of desire. So it wants to fix some matters related to your work related to your profession during this time. But this time is to step out of the comfort zone and do certain things that you're uncomfortable, or something new, a new project or a new assignment, anything that keeps you on your toes. Ketu is conjoined with Sun in your 4th house. So make sure that you stay connected with your mother, you stay connected with people from your homeland during this time. You would need each other's support. The lunar eclipse is happening in the 4 and 10 axis during this time, which means there are endings related to your level of satisfaction. It will take you a hard time as far as reaching that state is concerned. What you need to do is you need to practice mindfulness, you need to practice meditation. 4th house is one of the moksha bhavas. This is where spirituality begins. Take up a course or go on a spiritual journey, spiritual retreat during this time. Meditate, practice yoga, sadhana of all kinds to maintain your mental peace and sanity during this time. Your 4 and 10 axis is active. Expect any kind of endings as far as work is concerned. So a project could end, could come to a closure. Whether you would be successful in it or not depends on your ongoing dasha, antardasha. But if one thing comes to a close, there is always a new beginning, something good to be looking forward to. Everything happens for a reason after all. And this is the kind of message that I'd like to give you. One of the good remedies for you is, since your 4th axis, 4th house and 10th house are involved, you need to declutter your house. Make sure that you keep your surroundings clean. You give out, donate those things that you don't need during this time. Worship your ancestors, take blessings from your pitris, your ancestors, and donate those things which your ancestors like, and you will be benefited by this transit, by the energies. Overall, I do feel some mixed energies, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Cancer ascendants. What's happening with Cancer ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned, and the lunar eclipse, which is the second lunar eclipse of the year, happening in Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra in the axis of Virgo and Pisces. Sun is your second lord, the lord of family, speech, lord of consumption, family, wealth, those things that you accumulate, your storage space. It plays a very important role in all wealth related matters, and this Sun is making a transit in your 3rd house in the sign of Virgo. 3rd house Sun is generally considered good from the prospects of growth, change, and it is going to ensure that any efforts that you put, if they are related to wealth creating opportunities, you are likely to be successful during this transit depending on your ongoing dasha, antardasha. But you'll have to put in some extra efforts because these resources are under the affliction of Ketu during this time. So you'll have to spend extra time. But from a growth point of view, this looks quite a promising transit. Your family is likely to grow and foster. Your wealth is likely to increase. You will do a lot of financial management during this time. And if you channelize these resources and do something using your hands during this time, you will be supported by the virtue of resources. Now, understand that this Sun is aspecting your 9th house by its 7th aspect. So Sun desires dharma. Sun desires protection of dharma, protection of your religion. Be the protector of your own lineage and try to reconnect with your father or your guru or your mentor during this time to get some blessings or upadesha. Your 3 and 9 axis is active, is involved in this eclipse, which means it is the start of the journey. It is ending of a journey and beginning of a new journey. So if you had some, let's say, short travel that you made, you concluding the plans and you're ending up a work and starting a new line of work. This also represents journey. Journey does not necessarily mean that you're going on a trip or you're traveling. It is ending of one thing that you have already learned, and now it is time to take up something new. Looking forward to new learnings, looking forward to something that is more practical in nature, something that could help you grow and foster in life, and this is something which you should be looking forward to during this time. And this is something which concludes your teaching that you've got, that concludes your higher learning, and now it is time for spiritual growth. Now it is time for spiritual learning during this time. And from the perspective of journey, you could expect change of all kinds, so which is inevitable during this time. Whether this change is with regards to the workplace, there could be some issues with your younger siblings, some karmic aspects which are associated. Maybe your sibling needs your support or you need your sibling support. So watch each other's back is what I would recommend during this time. There's also a communication karma. Make sure that you're cautious when you're dealing with other people, that you're careful in terms of leveraging and channelizing your communication in a way that you can gain most of these opportunities, particularly with those people who you work with. And also get some blessings and message from your mentor that could guide you and help you make good decisions during this time. And for that, I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Leo Ascendants and what's happening with Leo Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned, and also the lunar eclipse that is happening in the axis of Virgo and Pisces. Sun is your ascendant lord, lord of the ascendant, your Lagnesha, and it is making a transit in the second house of wealth, Dhan Bhava, the house of family, your storage. This is what you consume, the food that you eat, your speech. So all of this is undergoing certain transformation during this time. So from a natural perspective, it is a Dhan Yoga which is going to benefit you as a self. So in case you're looking forward to getting an increment, rise of income, creating a secondary source of income, for all these pursuits, it looks like quite a positive transit. However, you will have to put in extra efforts in making that happen, because this Sun is under certain affliction of Ketu during this time. You have to take care of your family and you need to ensure that you keep them protected and be close to them during this time, because there is certain affliction which is there in your second house during this transit. Sun is aspecting your 8th house by its 7th aspect of desire, and Sun's aspect has a lot of fire. It blinds the other person. So transformation is inevitable, but for the first few days you will feel that you are directionless and you cannot envision your transformation. So do a vision setting exercise for yourself. Write a vision for yourself. Pen it down. Understand where you were to be in the next few years and what are certain steps that you will take in order to transform yourself, because that is inevitable. The lunar eclipse is happening in your 2nd and 8th axis. So there are financial repercussions or implications that could be there during this transit. So there could be an ending of finances, but it is not a permanent end. It is just a momentary blockage or a stop of finances or the source of funds. This is going to renew. This is going to start. Maybe you start making more money. Maybe you start doing better. You might get or make 4 or 5 times more than what you do now. So that depends on your ongoing dasha antardasha, but there are definitely decisions related to your finances that you'll have to make over the next few weeks, decisions related to your family, and one of the things that you have to do is to stop consuming maybe those kind of things or food items that are detrimental to your overall health and well-being. So you're expected to go through transformation in your eating habits. So make sure that you take conscious steps in order to change that, in order to manage those energies, so that your transformation journey is less painful and it is more exciting during this time. Take care of your speech, because you are prone to getting into conflicting situations and arguments because of an aggressive speech or hot temper that could be reflective in your speech. So practice humility, keep your ego aside, and try to channelize your speech in a way that helps you build cordial relationships with other people, and this will help you channelize those resources as well. And for that, I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Virgo Ascendants. What's happening with Virgo Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned, and also the lunar eclipse that is happening in the axis of Virgo and Pisces. Sun for you is the 12th lord, and it is making a transit in the 1st house, is the sign of Virgo. So please welcome Surya Devata in your Lagna or in your ascendant. This is the opportunity that you get once every year. So this is the month as Sun enters your ascendant, you must worship Lord Shiva and take his blessings throughout this transit. This is your 12th lord making a transit in the ascendant. Lord of losses, expenditure, your ability to give, your higher self-consciousness, your unlimited potential. The planet or the house that governs your sleep and bed comforts is entering your ascendant, your 1st house. So it is going to make you more of giving nature. These are some of the things which you can expect over the next few weeks. Ketu on the other side will continue to give you isolated tendencies, but Sun will help you evolve and develop your leadership capabilities during this time. So you need to follow the path of Sun, and also Mercury, your Lagna Lord, to establish communication skills, because Mercury is also going to enter your ascendant in the next few weeks and in the next few days, and this is something which you have to make the most of during this transit, because there will be also a Buddha-Aditya Yoga in your Lagna, 3 planetary conjunction as well. And Sun is aspecting your 7th house by its 7th aspect of desire. So Sun demands loyalty in your relationship. Sun demands truthfulness. Sun demands discipline, and Sun wants you to keep your ego aside, because it is going to give ego issues in relationship, and this is something which you have to manage, which you have to channelize. There could be certain issues with regards to your partner's health as well, so you have to take care of during this time, and your overall well-being as well, because that could become a cause of stress or a cause of concern during this time. This lunar eclipse is happening in your 1st and 7th aspect and 1st and 7th axis. So this means there is certain endings related to your Lagna, related to your body related changes, transformation. So you expected to go through physical developments, physical changes. So make sure you channelize these changes by the virtue and help of exercising and eating right. Taking care of your own body, taking care of your own self should be your #1 priority during this time, to ensure that these new beginnings are quite smooth for you. Otherwise, this could be detrimental to your health and overall well-being. Also, at the same time, you will have some relationship karma related to your partner. So make sure you take care of them and you stand by each other during this time. In case you're looking forward to getting into a partnership or a new relationship or start of a new business, this could be a potentially favorable time depending on your ongoing dasha, antardasha, and what you were to witness during this time. And for that, I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra ascendants and what's happening with Libra ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned, and also the annual 2nd lunar eclipse of this year. Sun is your 11th lord and it is making a transit in the 12th house, your 11th lord of gain, your income. We also see wealth from the 11th house, because this helps us gain material comforts and gains of all kind. Your ability to influence, rewards and recognition, your friends or wider social circle, and also your purpose of birth, because this is the house of fulfillment. And this Sun is making a transit in the 12th house of losses, expenditure, your higher self-consciousness, the house of unlimited potential. This is where you can increase your self-awareness and become more aware, and also more kind in terms of helping others, in terms of giving, in terms of donating. So this Sun in the 12th house is considered to be Maran Karak, and Sun will also be conjoined with Ketu. Ketu does very well in the 12th house from a spiritual point of view, because Ketu has nothing, so it has nothing to lose. So he says that what are those losses that could come in my path, because my path is very clear. I don't have any desires. Sun attains Maran Karak. There is a 2 planetary conjunction. Later Mercury will also join. So there are mixed energies as far as your 12th house is concerned. So you will have to put in extra efforts in order to make some gains, because your expenditure is likely to increase, or you're going to have some karmic repercussions as far as your expenditure is concerned. So make sure that you're not taking any impulsive decisions with regards to purchasing, with regards to making certain decisions of buying something wherein you have to incur huge amount of money, else that could be concerning. So just think through before making such decisions during this time. Resources would require more efforts, so that is something which you have to be mindful of. Consistency is the key. So if you do everything and ensure that you're consistent at it, you're likely to succeed during this transit and you will pass it with flying colors. This Sun is aspecting your 6th house by its 7th aspect of desire. So Sun is blinding your daily routine, and that needs a lot of focus. It needs cleansing. It needs certain amount of fixing. Again, consistency is the key in your daily routines and things that you do on a day-to-day basis, which will help you overcome competition of all kinds. Your 12th and 6th axis is involved in Grahan, in eclipse, which is lunar eclipse, and this is something which you can ensure that there are endings of unnecessary expenditure, endings of losses, which is good, endings of any health issues, and a path towards better mental and physical well-being and increase of spiritual pursuits. This is the kind of journey that you must have over the next few weeks to increase your spiritual quotient, which will help you become more mentally strong during this time, and this is the ultimate remedy for you. There is a de-cleansing, there is a decluttering of your daily routines, of your house and your overall self towards the path of spirituality. Connect with the Almighty, connect with whoever you believe in, and take their blessings during this time. Keep your feet clean and maintain hygiene as far as your feet is concerned during this time, and for this I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Scorpio Ascendants. For Scorpio Ascendants, Sun is an important planet because it's your 10th Lord, and this 10th Lord is making a transit in the 11th house in the sign of Virgo, the very earthy sign. So Sun is forming a positive yoga as far as work related opportunities are concerned. However, Sun will be conjoined Ketu in your 11th house, so you could have some conflicting situation as far as your work related matters are concerned. Maybe there is a decision which was supposed to be made with regards to your progression, with regards to your change, that might come to a halt, but that will be temporary. So it would depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha. So you could expect some sort of financial management as far as your work related opportunities are concerned. But overall, it looks like a promising transit with regards to new work opportunities, with regards to getting bigger and better roles as far as things that you want to do during this time. There is also gain of income, increase of income from your work. So either you will create a secondary source of income, or you're likely to get an increment or a promotion during this time, or any kind of recognition. This could also be incentive during this time. So you're likely to be incentivized. This could be in cash, this could be in kind. So this is something which you could expect during this time. This Sun is aspecting your 5th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun demands you to bring consistency as far as your future is concerned. Also consistency in your approach of dealing with your children and dealing with your own future. Also creative pursuits. So make sure that you're consistent. If you rise up at the same time. Have a routine in place that could help you solve for a lot of things in life and also manage your levels of stress as well during this time. This lunar eclipse is happening in your 11 and 5 axis, which means there are endings with regards to competition, with regards to enemies. So enemies are going to be defeated, enemies are going to end during this time. You will be able to overcome this competition, you will be able to overcome these enemies that have been opposing you for quite a while during this time. So this is good news for you, this is a progress. At the same time, you will also have some karmic repercussions with regards to your friends. There could be a conflicting situation, there could be an argument, fight, so make sure that you're prepared, and at the same time avoid any such scenarios if you can during this time. Also with regards to your future, you must do a goal setting exercise, you must swiftly act. So swift action is the key word for you. You shouldn't be relying on your bhagya, or you shouldn't be relying on fortune to make things happen. Take charge of things and take control of these things in your hand and take the necessary corrective steps. So these steps could be either related to your work or it will be related to your relationship. So there are two karmic elements that are there. So love interest, that is undergoing transformation. So this is where you need to take control in your hands and step into this situation and resolve any kind of conflict in an empathetic manner. Second is your work, wherein again you have to step into the situation and make your presence felt at the workplace. Do a lot of branding, do a lot of communication during this time, and you will be successful, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius Ascendants, what's happening with Sagittarius Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned, and also the lunar eclipse which is happening in your 10 and 4 axis. Sun is your 9th lord, it is your Bhagyesha, the lord of fortune, long journeys, father or father figure. It's a very important planet for you. It is a potential yoga karaka for Sagittarius Ascendants, and this Sun is entering your 10th house in the sign of Virgo. This is the house of karma, your action in society, your job, work, your profession. Sun is said to be gaining directional strength in the 10th house. Therefore, there are blessings of the Devata during this time. This is an opportunity transit because you get this opportunity once in a year. In spite of Sun being conjoined with Ketu, I do not consider this as an affliction because both these grahas, Sun as well as Ketu, are high fire energies. See, Sun is natural Agni Tattva, fiery planet. This is where we get energy and vitality from. Ketu is a headless planet, so it is constantly burning. It is in deep pain. So again, there's a lot of fire in your 10th house. So expect work-related progress. In spite of both these planets being there, it is going to give you success. It is going to give you some sort of progress as far as work-related matters or opportunities are concerned, because there are blessings of the Devata during this time. So you need to channelize these energies, these resources accordingly. Sun is forming a Dharma Karma Yoga during this time. This Sun is aspecting your 4th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun also wants you to focus and be consistent about your inner peace, about things that you do on a day-to-day basis, those things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. Sun demands you to de-cleanse and declutter your house and also your workspace. 2 remedies for you: clean your house, make sure that it's neat, clean and tidy, and donate those things that you don't need. Clean your workspace wherever you sit and work. If you work from home, clean your desk. If you're in the office, make sure that you keep your surroundings absolutely clean and organized. Decluttering is the key. The lunar eclipse is happening in the axis of your 10th house and the 4th house. Expect work related changes, a project or a work to end at a high note and something to begin at an even exciting note. So you'd like to have new opportunities, you'd like to have bigger opportunities and goals in life. You must act accordingly. Take charge, swift action as far as your work is concerned. Step into the situation and participate in each and everything. Make your presence felt. Practice and improve your personal branding, because this is the opportunity for you to influence others, to be recognized at your workplace. And branding is going to play a very important role. Take conscious steps because you're likely to have authority, you're likely to have a command, you're likely to improve your leadership capabilities during this time. So make sure that you channelize these energies to the best of your ability, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Capricorn Ascendants. What's happening with Capricorn Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned, and also the lunar eclipse, the second of the year, which is happening in a 9 and 3 axis. Sun is your 8th lord, the lord of Ayush, longevity, sudden changes, transformation of all kinds, hidden things. This is the house of secrets. It's the house of occult. This is where we see hidden knowledge, ancient knowledge, or Jyotish also from. This is also the house of inheritance. This is also Mangalya Bhava, because this is second from your 7th house, prosperity and happiness from marriage and how you consume your marriage, how you progress and foster your relationship. This is what it is seen from the 8th house. This Sun is making a transit in your 9th house. Sun is supposed to be one of the significators or karakas of the 9th house. So from that aspect, it is a favorable transit. It is a positive transit from the placement of Sun during this transit. This Sun demands you to protect your dharma, protect your religion, protect your inheritance, also improve relationship with your father. Your father's health could be of a concern during this time, so make sure that you reach out to them during this time. Bhagya is going to be fortunate, but at the same time it's going to be supportive, but you're undergoing a transformation, and any transformation will be painful during this time because this is your 8th lord, so it is going to bring in transformation. So don't be reliant on your bhagya to always be supportive. Don't wait for things to happen. Take charge, take control. The Sun is aspecting your 3rd house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun wants to bring in consistency in your efforts. Your efforts will increase, and these are everyday efforts, so do not shy away from putting efforts. Use your hands to do something, either journal, write, exercise in the gym, do gardening. These are some of the things that could bring in mental peace and navigate and help you navigate this change accordingly. Your 9 and 3 axis is pretty much active in this lunar eclipse. This means endings or cleansing of your bhagya, of your fortune. So you no longer would be supported by your bhagya. You need to take things in your own hands. You need to take the charge. You're likely to go on a new journey, step into a new journey. This journey does not mean that you will travel. You could travel for spiritual purposes, and that could be pretty good for you. So if you have a plan, take up a spiritual journey during this time. Make sure that you take blessings of your pitris or your ancestors during this time, which will be very beneficial for you. And at the same time, what you must do is that this change, which is inevitable for you, which means there could be a start of new work, so be prepared for it mentally. Change is inevitable, it is coming. It could be a new project, a new work assignment, or some change in your life that will make you go and put more efforts. So it will keep you on your toes all throughout the time. Make sure that you reach out to your mentor or your guru, whoever you believe in, whoever you trust, and get some advice. Other people's advice is going to play a very important role in helping you navigate through this change and navigate through this journey to ensure that your journey is successful. Be the protector of your dharma. This is the key message as far as this time is concerned, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Aquarius Ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned, and the lunar eclipse that is happening in your 8 and 2 axis. Sun for you is your 7th lord of marriage, relationship, partnership, harmony, your spouse, your business partnership, those people or things that are opposite to you. It's the first, this Lagna Lord, Lagnesha, which is the first house, that's you. 7th house, which is opposite, those things that are opposite to you. Now this Sun is making a transit in the 8th house, in the sign of Virgo, which is the house of transformation, Ayush, longevity, sudden ups and downs, sudden changes. Expect suddenness in your relationship. Expect sudden behavior changes as far as relationship is concerned. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, will depend on your ongoing dasha, antardasha, but there could be shifting tendencies. But this Sun demands consistency and the element of Mangalya, which is prosperity and of course well-being of your relationship, protection of your relationship during this time. That is quite inevitable. This time period will bring in change, will bring in transformation, and that is something which is inevitable. It is going to put you out of your comfort zone because this Sun is aspecting your 2nd house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun desires you to create a source of income. Sun desires you to spend more time with your family. Sun also desires you to keep your ego aside when you speak to others and ensure that you channelize the authority and the aggressive energies appropriately so that you do not create any kind of quarrels, any kind of conflict with other people by the virtue of your speech. This lunar eclipse is happening in your 8 and 2 axis. Transformation is inevitable. Change is coming. There is ending of something, a routine that you've been making, you're going to end it and you're going to start something new. So let's take an example that you made a habit of going out on a walk or exercising or eating specific food items. You're going to put it rest. Or maybe you had some bad habits, you're going to stop those things and you're going to restart. You're going to refresh and reboot. This is the key word for you, and be prepared for it. Okay. So transformation is inevitable. There is also certain karma related to your family. Your family matters are going to be of your priority during this time. You're also going to have some speech related karma, food related karma, what you consume, what you eat. Either you're going to take a pause on specific food items and change your diet. Maybe you might think of quitting non-vegetarian food and going for green leafy vegetables, or you could have some other dietary changes during this time. Whether it is beneficial for you or not depends on your ongoing dasha antardasha, but I believe whatever makes you happy, you always get that calling. So if you get certain amount of calling, pick certain signals and begin with that change and go on your transformational journey and let things happen. Take care of your speech during this time and take charge of your transformation, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Pisces Ascendants and what's happening with Pisces Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Virgo is concerned. Now Sun becomes your sixth lord, the lord of daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your competition, debts and diseases. And Sun also rules enemies of your mind. This is also what we see from the sixth house, which is the house of Shad Ripus. This Sun is making a transit in your seventh house of marriage, partnership, relationship, those people who are opposite to you. This house represents peace and also war. This house represents other places or far off places as well, which is again opposite to you. Sun is not considered to be quite ideal as far as seventh house is concerned, because Sun likes to rise in the east, which is the first house of the Lagna. Western direction is mapped to the seventh house, so this is where Sun sets. So they're calm energies, but Sun likes to have a lot of firepower. So from that aspect, you are expected to undergo a relationship karma during this time, because there is Sun in Ketu that is conjoined in your seventh house of marriage, partnership. So either a relationship karma, karma related to your partnership, karma related to your business. So you're going to be making some decisions that are either related to your business, relationship or partnership during this time, with those people who are opposite to you. And this is something you need to work on. You need to channelize your resources, because resources are going to be on a lower side. You'll have to put in a lot more efforts to put your relationship back on track. Sun is aspecting your ascendant or the first house by its seventh aspect of desire. Sun's aspect blinds. So there is a chance that you might not have the vision, or by vision I mean that you might not have a lot of clarity in terms of what's coming ahead. So you could be disillusioned during this time, because there's also Ketu in your seventh house. So make sure that you follow the path of Dharma. Make sure that you stick to your path. Make sure that you listen to your mind and you take charge of your decisions, and you take care of your physical well-being during this time. This is the key message of this transit. You need to go through physical transformation. You need to take care of your own physical well-being, and that is something which is in your hands. This lunar eclipse is happening in your 7 and 1 axis. Relationship coming to a halt, coming to a closure, or there is some change or transformation as far as these pursuits are concerned, and beginning of a new association or a new relationship. If you have some key decisions related to your business, if these decisions could wait, I would advise you to wait. If there is urgency, then of course look at all aspects and take into account all contingencies during this time, because you cannot run away from these energies that are there. There could be certain conflict in your relationship, so make sure that you listen to your partner, make sure that you maintain cordial relationship with other people. You keep your ego aside, practice humility during this time to ensure a positive aspect, to ensure a lot of positivity over the next few weeks, because this transit is going to pass, this time is going to pass. There is definitely these karmas which you cannot run away with, and practice mindfulness during this time. Offer water to Surya, worship your Pitris, worship your ancestors, take blessings from them. This is the opportunity which you have during this time to balance your mental as well as physical energies, and for that I wish you the very best. Now, as mentioned in the beginning of this video, this lunar eclipse coincides with Pitru Paksha, which is the fortnightly event which we also call Shraddh. This is the time when it is believed that Pitris or our ancestors are pretty much active, so it is an opportunity for us to seek their blessings. I'm going to talk about a few things in terms of what you can do, very simple things which everyone can do to maximize and take as much blessings as you can from your ancestors. It is believed if you take blessings from your ancestors, if your ancestors are supportive, you're going to have a lot of consistency in your life and less obstacles when it is about work, relationship, your physical, mental, emotional and social well-being. Everything taken into account is well balanced if your ancestors bless you. So Pitris, your ancestors, are pretty much active for the next 2 weeks starting 18th of September, and this is something that you have to be mindful of. Any worship that you do, even if you think about them, even if you think about, let's say, your ancestors, your grandparents, great grandparents, and of course if you know their names, if you of course remember some of them who are not in this world anymore. So make sure that you connect with them, make sure that you think about them. That is the first step. Secondly, these ancestors are pretty much active after the sunset. Of course you remember them in your morning prayers. In your morning prayers you can also keep some water, okay, so you can use water while praying, okay, but ancestors are pretty active after sunset. So make sure that you sit in the open for a few minutes, let's say in your balcony, terrace or the garden. For a few minutes you meditate and you connect with your ancestors. You remember them and take their blessings, take advice from them, take guidance, ask for forgiveness and ask for help and support during this time. This is something which you could do. Sit in the open because Pitris or your ancestors are quite active after sunset. Donation related to Shraddh. So donate those things which your ancestors loved to eat or love to consume. If you don't know what they liked eating, you can donate those things which you like to eat, which you love to eat. This is something which you could either give in temple, any place of worship, or you could offer to anyone who needs it. And lastly, after the lunar eclipse, it is time to charge your gemstones. Any gemstones that you're wearing, you must charge them on the specific day and using the specific mantra. And the same applies after solar eclipse as well, which will be coming in the next few days. This is the opportunity for charging your gemstones. So this was about a unique video on Sun's transit in sign of Virgo and also the lunar eclipse, which is the second of the year, happening in the sign of Virgo and Pisces. In case you like this video, please share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos on transits and analysis. Thank you very much. God bless you all.